Not a lot of talk about Litecoin since that Walmart news, but I did promise you guys that I'm going to follow up with my previous 2021 end of year prediction. And that's exactly what we're doing in this video. If you look here, price did lose some important price levels. With price right now trading below all three important moving averages, things might just get ugly for Litecoin in October. Hey, what's up? It's John here with Currency.com. You can find my Twitter as well. Just search @RealJohnDoe to follow me. And guys, make sure you do hit that thumbs up button on this video. It really does help us out in the YouTube algorithm so more and more people just like yourself can see this video. And like I've said before, I'm always going to keep analysis on here realistic. And my goal is to help you guys to know how to read price action better so you can stay up to date with the crypto price action and also be all good with your trades. But now let's get into this Litecoin analysis for October. We're going to cover everything you need to know right now as we start a brand new month. And the first thing we're going to mention for this video will be the important price levels to look at right now for Litecoin. And then I'll give you the trader sentiment, and we'll also talk a little bit more about Litecoin and what it's been performing like in the past few weeks. And then we jump into our analysis. And that's mostly what we'll cover in this video. So make sure I do have your attention, and let's go. Now going into a fresh new month, as we did just break some important support levels, I did update the support levels now. The first one I do have here, $140. That's the September lows and also the open range for August. The next level I have $130. That was the August lows. Then I have $120, and that brings us right back towards the yearly open. Now, if this bounce does hold for Litecoin, I do have some prices to watch towards the upside. The first one in that 150 to 155 range. That's right around that 20-day moving average. And then we got $167, and we can push after that. We have $180, and that is the mid-range levels. So we should expect to see some type of resistance when we get there. And I want to say a quick thanks to everybody who's been showing love to the channel, liking the videos, and everybody that's also subscribed. Really hope we can get this number right here to 25K subscribers by the end of the year. Let's see how it goes. So make sure if you're not subscribed, you take 2 seconds right now to hit that subscribe button, and as well, smash that thumbs up button. If you want to follow my Twitter, just search @RealJohnDoe. You can follow me there as well. And here, let's have a look at the trader sentiment for Litecoin right now on Currency.com. Currently, it does show Litecoin is sitting right down at support. We could have a little bounce here. Right now, it does show 91% buyers and 9% sellers as the price is pushing towards a low for the day. If you look here on CoinMarketCap, where is Litecoin? It is number 16. The past 7 days, past 24 hours have not been too well. The current market cap right now for Litecoin, we got 9.5 billion. Overall, things are not looking too great right now for October, but we could have a bottom or we could continue heading downwards. Let's talk about that here in a minute. And in terms of news for Litecoin, we haven't had too much happen. Pretty much the biggest thing that did happen was that Walmart news. So I don't got too much news to talk about for Litecoin. I think we're just going to jump right into the chart in this video. Since that Walmart news that we did have, things weren't looking good. Litecoin did have a huge spike when that came out, but when Walmart said that news was not for real. And we're going right into the week that should have been the week that Walmart was accepting Litecoin if that news was real. But now we don't really know what's ahead for Litecoin in terms of news, but adoption does continue to grow overall for crypto. But for Litecoin, that Walmart news was a major setback. And now let's jump into the chart and see what we got going on now. So having a look at this recent price action for Litecoin, things are not looking too great as we go into October. You can see price just broke down the major support levels that we did have marked out. Sliced right through, and now it looks like it is heading down towards that $120 target that we talked about in the previous video. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play back that video, talk about the scenario that we were expecting if we did get that price target, and what I'm looking for if price will continue downwards for Litecoin into the end of October, or if we will get a bounce, what levels am I looking at towards the upside of the 240 resistance highs based on that Walmart news that we just had. So let's say we were to reverse here and reject it here with a lower high on the weekly, then we can expect price to head back down to test this 156 to 180 range. And that's where we look for a higher low. If that does not happen though, and we continue breaking down, we have this major support at about 150. And then we could look for Litecoin to close the year off down here towards $120. So my bearish price targets for Litecoin on the downside from where we're at right now, I do look for here at about 150 and then 120. And then on the bullish side, I got 240 and then 300. So what I'll do is in the next Litecoin videos, I will follow through with these videos and see exactly how the price action is pushing and see which price target we get closer to. So in that last analysis for 2021, I did have $140 as a price target on the bearish side and also 120. It looks like right now we are at that price target 1 on the bearish side. We are getting it way earlier than expected, which is actually pretty good because that does save us room for even all 4 price targets happening. To the downside, we get 140 because a little bit of bounce or consolidation here, breakdown and touch 120 sometime in October, November. And then we could even have a nice spike up coming into the end of 2021. But now these supports are resistance levels. So we got to look out for that. Now when price does bounce. But as of right now, since we are at this 140 target, the next price target, since price did move with the bearish scenario, is down at about $120 for Litecoin. That would be a great spot. Even though it is lower prices, it is a great spot for buying the dip and to close off the year. One thing I don't like about that though, that is below the yearly open range for Litecoin. Litecoin opened right here at about 155 roughly. Oh no, actually it opened right here in 2021 at about 124. So if we do close down there at about 120, that means Litecoin didn't even give a return for 2021, which would be the first time now in a few years that's happened. So things would look even way better for 2022. So now that we're down here at this first price target for Litecoin, I'm going to talk about the support and resistance levels that I mentioned earlier. Those are main levels that I'm watching for October. The first one, right where we're at right now, is $140. So we're right at that first support level at about $140. After that, I'm looking at about 130, which would be the lows from August. If you look, it's right here at this range. And then the next level for Litecoin would be all the way down here towards $120. And that brings us to test the yearly lows for 2021 for Litecoin. And I would expect price to bottom in that range. If not, then things could be looking ugly for later on in the year and in 2022. Now, if we want to talk about things on the upside for Litecoin, currently right now in this 140 range, if you look here, if we do get a bounce and we start heading up, we do have a resistance right here at about 150, 155. That brings us right towards that That brings us right to test that 21-day EMA, and that would be the first thing we need Litecoin to flip into support in order for some higher prices to come in October. That's the main level to watch. Then we got that mid-range, which is right up here at about 180, and that will be roughly where the 200-day moving average is. And if that can flip into support, then I'm expecting at least these September highs to get tested for Litecoin, which is just below $240. So right now for Litecoin, but it's best to just follow the price action. And right now the price action does suggest things to continue downwards. So we do test this 155 resistance. You can most likely expect a rejection at that level and continue on towards that 140, 130, and then bottom at that 120 level. If you look at this RSI though, it is looking better. It looks like it is having a higher low, and that could also line up with that bounce towards that 155 level. And the RSI to go test the upside a little bit more. And then that's where it would come back down towards the oversold range for a double bottom with price being around that 120, 130 level. If you also look at this MACD right now for Litecoin, it has been in a bearish crossover now for quite some time, continuing downwards across below the zero line. So the MACD is in these bearish levels. If you compare it to this previous history back in May, it is pretty similar, except this one is a little bit more dragged out, not as much volatility. As this MACD is below the zero level, we can expect it to test the zero line and also break down double bottom. And this would be where you look for the breakout to happen for Litecoin. And in terms of timelines, it's hard to play that out, but it could be in the end of October when you look for that to happen. And then we will test this resistance of 156, 155 level once again, and potentially that's where we will flip it into a support. So for the bullish scenario for Litecoin in October, I am looking at a price target right up here at about 156. From this current level, it is pretty close, but we could get a rejection. But I'm looking for something to flip that into a support and price be above that level in October. And from this current level, it is pretty close, about 10% away. But if we do head down towards that 130, 120 level, that is about 20% away. But things to the downside, you just pay attention to those support levels that I mentioned earlier. 130 and then 120. And that would be where you want price to bottom in October for Litecoin. So right now I do have a smaller range on where I'm expecting price to stay in. It is within this blue box right here for October. If we get anything lower, that's not good at all. If we get something higher above that 200-day moving average, then that is perfect for Litecoin. And that means October, it was pretty strong. And then we can expect some more strength to continue on towards the end of 2021. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.